Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the Wealth Building CPA Client of the Month interview. I'm your host, Yasmin Razak, and today it's my pleasure to interview former NFL player and current real estate investor, Yannik Cudjoe Virgil. Thanks for joining us, Yannik.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, Yasmin.
No, you're welcome. We're excited to learn about what you're doing in the investing world and how our listeners can become involved. But before we get into the questions, I'd just like to let our audience know a little bit about Abera Okoye. Regular listeners obviously know all about her, but for anybody who hasn't been on a call before, Abera Okoye is a CPA. She is an active real estate investor, and she's the founder of Wealth Building CPA. She owns real estate investments in 5 states across the Eastern Coast. Her company has helped over 5,000 people just like you to prepare taxes online and just in flying. Her greatest joy comes from helping clients, friends, and associates become free of financial stress. So if you're interested in having a free consultation with Abera about building wealth, have a look on the screen and you'll see a phone number there that give her a call to book that consultation. Okay, so on today's call we have Yannik Cudjoe Virgil. He's a former NFL player with the Tennessee Titans. He's recently retired just in December of last year, and now he's a full-time real estate professional, currently working at Keller Williams. And today he's in the commercial sector, that is, with Keller Williams Commercial. And today he's looking to partner and acquire with value-added multifamily investments. So you are on the right call if you are considering going into real estate investing and are looking for somebody to partner with. So thanks again for joining us, Yannik.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so I've done many of these calls for Abera over the last 7 or 8 years, but I've never spoken to a former NFL player, so this is very interesting. Could you briefly tell us a little about your NFL history and why you chose to move into real estate after retiring from that sports career?
Okay. Well, again, my name is Yannik Cudjoe Virgil, former NFL player. Graduated from the University of Maryland, and, fortunately I was blessed with the talent to take my abilities to the NFL. So, my first the only team I was playing with was the Tennessee Titans. And so I was active in the NFL for 3 years. And, I had a great time in the NFL, met a lot of good people, created a lot of great relationships. Essentially I was, the less than 1%, that are fortunate to make it to the NFL. And so that time for me, that was pretty much a great accomplishment for me, coming from a small school, being an immigrant from Trinidad. That was a big accomplishment for not only me, but my family as well. And so I am a former NFL player. I just recently retired this past December. And unfortunately, I had to end my career early due to a knee injury. And, that was tough. But I knew that real estate was something that I wanted to pursue after my football tenure. I can remember, visiting, real estate seminars and listening to the webinars and the podcasts during my time in the NFL, including the time that I was injured. I always knew that real estate was something that I can apply the same energy and tenacity that got me to the NFL into real estate and become successful. And so in a nutshell, that's, essentially my path from the NFL. Now I'm a current real estate investor and a broker associate with KW Commercial, focusing on multifamily and tenant representation. And so, just, trying to evolve from former NFL player to a real estate professional.
Okay, well, that's an interesting story, because I know many of us have often heard stories in the press about former successful sports stars, not just NFL, but any sport, where they've, reached the height of their career, made a lot of money, and then a few years later they're broke. We've all read stories like that, and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, obviously that must have been at the back of your mind when you were looking towards the end of your sports career, thinking, well, I don't want to end up like that. So why real estate?
Exactly.
You could have gone into stock shares. You could have done multiple other businesses. What was it about? Did you have a mentor? Did you see people investing in real estate doing well? What was it about it that attracted you?
And this is something that, any time that I put my name on something, or any time that I want to do something, I go 100 miles per hour. And so when I started learning about real estate, I got into extreme learning mode, meaning that anything that I could see, touch, or feel about real estate, I wanted to learn everything about it. And fortunately, and it's so standard in, wealth building. Fortunately, I was able to read Rich Dad, Poor Dad my rookie year, my first year in the NFL in the off season. And that pretty much, that was like a wow. That was pretty much my foundation of, how can I sustain, the revenue that I've generated in the NFL throughout my life. You take a look at the statistics, 78% of NFL players go broke after 2 years of exiting the league. It's because they have to sustain that lifestyle that they have created during the NFL. Because those bills don't just go away. Those $1,000 car notes, or that $3,000 mortgage purchase, or your expensive vacations that you're so used to taking during the off season, or those expenses that you incurred during the year, those expenses don't go away. And so when I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, that was pretty much like instrumental in me sitting down and saying, man, I've got to save my money, or not just save, I've got to invest in something called real estate. And in Rich Dad Poor Dad, he talked about passive income, and passive income being something that will allow you to be financially free. So in that book, he pretty much talks about real estate and how he was able to use real estate as a means of becoming financially free. So that was pretty much, the foundation behind why I chose real estate to pursue after my career.
Okay, great. I know I read Rich Dad Poor Dad many, many years ago, and I know that it is an impetus for a lot of investors to pull that trigger
Absolutely.
to jump into it. So, yes, wise words there, definitely. And it's great to see that even though you're still young, you're looking ahead to your future and building
Absolutely.
on that. That's really sensible move for you. Now, how did you meet a Barry or know about the Wealth Building CPA, and how have they helped you sort of, as a guideline to not just your taxes, but looking to the future for your finances and wealth building?
Yeah. Well, so actually I met a Barry at a real estate networking event. And I knew I wanted to work with a CPA that was experienced and a CPA that knew the real estate business, because not all CPAs are equal. Not all CPAs know about your business, but fortunately, Barry is not only a CPA, she's also a real estate investor. So that was pretty much, a home run in terms of finding the best CPA for my business. Not only do you need a mentor, especially when you're starting a new business, specifically in real estate, you also need a CPA, because a good CPA, it doesn't cost you, it saves you money. So I found that, just speaking to others and looking at testimonials of Barry, that she was the right person to hire. And so, we've cultivated a relationship now that, we talk about my taxes and, we're formulating a plan for the future. And, so far it's been great. So excited to be working with her.
Okay, great stuff. Always love to hear great testimonials about Vera and how she helps people. So thanks for sharing that. Now, before we started on the call, you told me that you're working on a deal right now. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yep. So pretty much, I really wanted to. I actually have a mentor. His name is Andre Johnson. I pretty much wanted to dive into the real estate investing game. I've learned, it's better to actually get in the game than to sit on the sidelines. So right now I'm working on a fix and flip deal I have on the contract that's destined to close next week with my mentor. So I really wanted to get in the game and, start investing into real estate and start building my investing business. So that's the deal that I have on the contract right now and the deal that I'm working on, and also working on, looking for other deals, not only single-family fix and flips, but multifamily investing. So as far as, deals that I'm working on.
I imagine you're looking for investors for some of these deals as well. So if people listening on this call, why should they reach out to you to see if they can do business with you? Because there are lots of people looking for investors for deals, but obviously you come from a unique background. You have access to high net worth individuals from your sports past as well. Why work with Yannik?
Being in the NFL, obviously, I have a lot of NFL friends that, have capital, sitting in the bank. And what I found with real estate is that, you can have returns that can beat the stock market. You can have the returns that obviously, beat the bank, because the bank is only going to give you, at most 0.1% if on a good day, return on your money. It's more so about connecting an opportunity to those investors and saying, hey, instead of putting your money in the bank and letting it sit while the bank makes money on your money, you can put it in a income-producing asset that can generate returns that allow you to live that passive lifestyle, allow you to fund those expenses that you have for your life. So really just connecting the investor, the experienced, credible investor, to that access to capital, because you need two things in real estate. You either need the deal or the money. Now, you can find the deal, but at the end of the day, you need the money to close the deal. And so in real estate investing, it's no such thing as too much money. It's always better to raise enough capital so, if something happens, if you have an investor that backs out, you always have that constant pipeline of capital to fund your deals. And so that's really the value that I'm trying to bring, alongside with me being, a commercial agent and having an ability to find these deals and having some expertise or some trades in commercial real estate. It's really more so about connecting that capital to that experienced investor and closing the deal.
Okay, great. So if anybody's interested, I know a lot of people surely will be, in working with you on your future deals, how can they get in touch?
You can reach out to me at my email. It's Cudjoe, Cudjoe. So that's Cudjoe at Merlin Acquisitions, MERLYNN acquisitions.com. Or you can reach me on my cell phone. My number is 202-838-7596. And, hope to, be working with an experienced investor or someone that wants to invest into multifamily.
Okay, great. So if you're interested in doing a deal with Yannik and his wide network of high net worth individuals from his NFL history and current investors that he's working on, have a look on the screen and get in touch with him via phone or email. And Yannik, I'd just like to say thank you again for spending some time with us today. It's been really interesting to hear your story and your plans for the future. And I wish you the best of luck in your deals.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Yasmin. Thank you so much for having me. And, I really appreciate, you're reaching out to me, and I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.